Like they're deferring away from the scene of the crime, the intersection, the date. They're deferring from all of that, and and they're scamming because. All right, for instance, I've been to court 5 times. 5 for
single.
I got 4 charges 3 separate times. So they're charging me with the same thing 3 times, and. I went the first 3 times I went to court was just to continue each hearing into one hearing. So we got everything combined after 3 days. That's 3 days I had to take off work to go there. Now the 4th time was trial. Long story short, my lawyer was busy that day. He didn't show up. They tried to swindle me and take me off to the side in the hallway and try to talk to me with no lawyer.
You know, hearing that, it makes me...
I told him...
Yo, that's bullshit.
And he said to me, he came up, he said, can I talk to you? I said, well, I want to know what these guys are up to because they like to do tricky things. So I want to... Like, I'm going to hear you out. Let me see what you have to say. So I'm like, all right, what's up? He said, oh, yeah, are you willing to take a deal? I said, take a deal? I said, my lawyer's not even here. I said, I would much more be comfortable if I had my lawyer to consult about these options you're giving me right now. So that was the first day of trial.
Let me cut you off. I don't mean to cut you off though. You don't think that's a setup? Because they working hand in hand. It's probably like, it was like, yo, don't come to work today. Or he was like, I'm not going to go. Let's try to give him a deal, lure him into it. That's bullshit,
And they try to lure you in. And then it's like, I'm getting notices in the mail. Trial. They send you, like, because if you forget, then it's a warrant. So they make sure they give you your warnings. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to trial. This is going to be done today. This was 4 months ago. So that was the first day of trial. They tried to talk to me with no lawyer. Then the second day of trial was the last time, and it went nowhere. And they wrote on paper. They said the next time you bring this kid in, get rid of him. He's been here 3 times.
Make sure it's handled.
Make sure you come to a conclusion. I don't care if the lawyer's there or if it's raining, snowing. Get him out of here. Now I go today. I'm thinking I'm going to trial. Like, let's get this. Like. I go there and they're talking about, yeah, we got a great deal for you.
Another deal.
I mean, it's like, oh,
they be trying to give me a deal every time I go to court, and I tell them every time I'm not taking a
That's
deal.
That's because they know
going.
For a fact they cannot win a case. They keep trying to lure you in by like pressure you. I told him earlier.
And then they scam you.
I've learned this years ago. They was like, if at least 60 to 70% of people go to trial every time, the whole court system will fail. It will collapse. Because they try to get you, they lure you in. Yo, take a deal. They want the money. Take a deal.
And then they spice you
up. When they know they wrong.
They spice you up. Because my tickets were only about $3,500 in tickets. I mean, paying a lawyer, that don't go towards your fines, but like just for the sake of it, like I paid my lawyer $1,600. So I'm $1,600 into this already. My fines are only $3,500, and So they spice it up. When they throw the deal at you, they're like, all right, well, what you're really looking at, like instead of the $3,500 I owe, they try to round it up. So now they're like, well, you owe $4,000 in fines. You got 24 points because they're giving me points for the same thing over and over again.
That's like what, 3 years suspension?
Yeah, and then they said, and a 3-year license suspension. 3 years. That's what I'm looking at. But then the great deal that they're throwing me is 3-month suspension, 3 points, and still $2,000 fine. So they try to spice me up so that like what I'm really looking at is worse than it is, because I already know what I'm looking at because they already told me on my tickets.
Yeah.
And then the deal that they're giving me is barely any better than the tickets they already gave me, which the tickets they gave me are BS because they're charging me the same thing over and over and over. They try to scare you.
Make sure you guys subscribe, comment, and share this video one time. For more Bikelife talks from Mr. Business Productions, tune in on weekdays at noon. And for other Bikelife content, tune in on weekdays at 4 p.m.